My camera does not like artificial lighting. Why? And I'm on low battery. Why? Date is, don't know why I feel the need to tell you the date, but the date is Wednesday the 5th of April and I finished filming today. You might not know what I'm talking about when I say filming. If you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and that sort of thing, you will know what I'm talking about. But recently, and by recently I mean this week, I have been filming for a new CBBC drama. I can't say too much about it because obviously I'm sworn to secrecy. But I'll put some information in the description box so that I don't have to be too careful about telling you too much, because I really don't want to get in trouble. It's airing this autumn. So yeah, I thought I would just make a video talking about it because it was eventful and there are things that I learnt that I wanted to share. So yeah, here we go. Bit of background to start with. As most of you probably know by now, I'm an actor. When people learn that I do drama, they often say like, oh, do you want to be an actor when you grow up? And I'm like, well, I kind of already am. I've been acting since I was 8, so I am a jobbing actor. I don't get jobs a lot. I'm not going to disclose how much I'm getting paid because I feel like that might be kind of a bit iffy, but let's just stick with I'm getting paid. So I am essentially a jobbing actor, and it is my life. I love acting. That sounds just really lame, I'm so sorry. There was actually a lot of drama with this job, the initial audition, because it was straight after the day that I was coming home from London after staying with my friend Rachel, who you all know from my video. I always talk about her. She's great. I'm seeing her next week as well, and I'm so excited. I got stuck in London because of Storm Doris, and that was the day of the audition, and I missed the initial audition, and they were so kind that they actually set another one up for me the next week, so I did get to audition. First thing I've got to say is I was so surprised by how lovely they are, and that's not to say that like all casting directors and people like that are horrible, because they're not, but they were so nice. Like, they went out of their way to be really, really nice to me, and it was just like, damn, like I didn't expect them to be that nice to me. Last week I had my very first read through, which I must admit I was very excited about, and then I had a rehearsal and costume fitting on the Wednesday, and I started filming Monday. It's not a massive part. Basically, I am the sister of the main character, but I'm not going to give any spoilers on the episode because obviously I'm not allowed, and anyway I don't want to spoil it because the ending is great and I really want you guys to watch it and be surprised at the end. That is what I'm hoping for. That is really what I'm hoping for, because like the ending, I filmed the ending today and it was so much fun. I love it so much. It's such a good script as well. It's really well written. One of the things that I have not been used to is staying in hotels overnight. So the Sunday before I started filming, I stayed in a hotel with my mum, and I haven't stayed in a hotel for an acting job since I was 10, and when I was 10 I went on tour with Opera North, and as we were on tour we were staying in hotels all over the country with chaperones and friends and stuff, and it wasn't great. That wasn't because of anyone or anything in particular. It was when my anxiety started, and it was a big deal. It wasn't great. So when I found out that on Tuesday night, yesterday night, I would be staying in a hotel with a chaperone that I hadn't even met until yesterday, I had mixed feelings. I have had a sort of weird anxiety issue with sleeping over at places since the Opera North tour, and that is no one's fault. It's just a thing, but it's gotten better in the past like couple of years, I would say. And now I'm totally okay with it. So I was like, you know what, I am not gonna chicken out of this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And I'm so proud of myself. But that's not related to the filming at all. Monday morning, I had to be at base, unit base, for 7 AM. So I got up at about 5:45. If you don't know what unit base is, by the way, it's basically the base where they have the production office, the green room. That's where we had the read-through and the rehearsal and stuff, and the costume fitting. You have like your lunch there and your meals. It's basically where the base is, so you all meet there and then they take you to set from there. So I went to unit base at 7 AM and I had my breakfast on the dining bus. If you don't know, the dining bus is literally a double-decker bus where you sit and eat your food. I don't know why it's a bus. I think it's just because it's portable and it's got tables, but yeah, the dining bus is great. The dining bus was great. I filmed all morning. It was the first scene in the episode that we were filming that day. The first ever scene to be filmed on Creeped Out, my new show. It's not my show, but I just love it so much. I'm so excited. That scene took about 3-ish hours. And then I was wrapped for the day, so I went home with my mum exceptionally early. Actually, I was so glad that I didn't have to stay all day, because that would have been not very fun. Let's just put it that way. We were filming in someone's actual house, so the green room was literally a bedroom. It was so small. It was probably about the size of this room, possibly smaller. All you could fit in there was a double bed, and that's kind of about this room size, possibly smaller, because there was hardly any room, let's just put it that way. The first scene was filmed in a bedroom as well. Went really swimmingly. Today was good as well, because I got to set at about 12, and they meant to have lunch at 1 o'clock. There was a whole big mix-up with costumes and stuff yesterday, so 2 of the scenes that were meant to be filmed yesterday actually ended up being filmed today, and they were super behind on schedule. When I got there, they'd only filmed 1 scene, and they'd been there since 8. They'd done about 4 hours work, and they were still on the first scene of the day, so I was like, yikes, I'm gonna be here for a while. They had the decency to switch my scene to be straight after the first one that when they finished it, because they were like, well, she's only got 1 scene to do, so we'll just let her leave early as soon as we've done. So they crammed my scene in before lunch, like literally crammed it in. When I say before lunch, they ran over by half an hour, but they got it done. So then we went back to unit base, and I had my lunch on the dining bus with my friend slash younger brother in the thing, the main character. He's called Reese. He's great. Hi Reese, if you're watching this. Yeah. And then I went back to the train station with the chaperone, went home, and yeah, and now here I am. I am so happy. I have not been this happy in a while, and that sounds really depressing. Honestly, when I'm filming and doing jobs like this, my mood is all over the place, because I will literally be so happy when I'm doing it, and then I'll get home and then my mood just drops. I'm just really, really happy. I'm really happy. Today's been really good. As I said, I don't get jobs that often. This is like, the last job I did was January 2016. January, February, so it's over a year since I had a job, and I'm just so happy. I've done TV work before, but this is like my biggest part on TV. I am so proud to be a part of this. Like, essentially what it is, as I said, I'll link stuff below, but it's a 13-part CBBC drama, Creepy Stories. It's called Creeped Out, and it's actually a Canadian production company that's doing it. So some of the episodes are being filmed in Canada, which means it's also airing in Canada, which means more promotion for the series. And honestly, I'm just so happy to be a part of it. All the episodes are individual stories, so they've all got different casts. I've only read the scripts that I read when I auditioned initially, and I think when the series is aired, which won't be for a while yet, it's coming out in autumn, but that's as far as I know so far. When it's aired, I'm planning on doing like a proper like video where I talk about like what the audition process was like in depth, because at the minute I can't say much because, you know, there are rules and stuff like that. We had a massive talk with the producer, me and Reese, about social media use and what we're allowed to say and what we're not allowed to say, so I'm keeping it very, very vague, and as I said, I will link something below a website from the press release which will tell you stuff that you want to know, so that I don't have to worry about like saying things wrong that I'm not allowed to say. I will have a brief look over the social media guidelines again and edit out anything that I'm not allowed to say, but yeah, I think I'm okay. It's the first time I've actually had to do anything like this where I've got to like keep quiet about stuff. But I think I'm managing it. I haven't been told off yet, so thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I hope you're excited. All my social media is below. There's a lot on my Twitter at the minute about Creeped Out, so if you want to go read that, then you can. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!